Hi everyone, beautiful day for a walk. My wife's bank card was stolen last week, and I've been monitoring the usage online where the thieves have been spending money and how much they've been spending, and I've decided to not notify the bank. Turns out the thieves are spending less money than my wife normally would. It's a joke. But on a more serious note, bank cards, credit cards, debit cards work a little bit differently here in Europe than in the US. In the US, if you're going to buy something, especially online, you just put in the credit card number, the name, the card expiration date, and the 3-digit security code on the back, and bam, you can buy whatever you want. Here in Lithuania and Europe in general, it's much different, much more secure. If you're going to buy something online, generally it will take you from your whatever site you're shopping on to your bank site, which you need to log into. You go through a bunch of steps, and then at the end you have to put in a code, like a special one-time code generated by the bank. It can come up on your phone, it can be on a little generator thing, but point is, it's a lot more steps to go through, but it is pretty secure. So if somebody steals your card here, it's still of concern, but maybe not quite so much as in the US. Hi guys, Saturday, January 17th, beautiful day out here in the forest. We did have a bit more snow this week, so who knows what I'll find. I'm actually out just checking my trail camera out here in the forest. If you recall from my last video, I moved one of my cameras out here, so we'll see if we got any hot action. But once again, beautiful day. It's about minus 10 right now. The feels like temperature or wind chill is about minus 20, and we've actually got even colder stuff on the way. Supposed to be in over the next few days or week or so, supposed to be minus 20 at night and minus 10 during the day. And on that topic, we haven't been above freezing all year, the year 2026. In fact, since I think December 30th, we haven't been above freezing. I think on New Year's Day we were about minus 1 or maybe 0, but none of this has melted, which is just fine with me. In fact, there's my camera, still there. We will see if there's anything on it. If there is anything on it, I will share with you guys. Basically, to check and change everything else, I just open it up, shut it off, take out the memory card, replace the memory card with a clean one, and take it home. So it's not like I got to run back out and put the card back in when I'm done downloading the pictures. But thanks for coming on the journey with me. More to come. Hi everyone, Sunday, January 18th, about 9 in the morning. Temperature's about minus 13, which is a bit chilly. There's a bit of a wind. Hopefully it doesn't mess with the microphone. But it's been about a month or so since we had the shortest day of the year, the winter solstice. And we've gained about, I don't know, maybe an hour of daylight since then. Still some pretty short days. As you can see, the sun isn't even visible yet. And it's 9 in the morning. But on that topic, I wanted to talk a little bit about cabin fever, as we call it in northern Wisconsin. Some people call it winter blues. Basically, it's just that condition where a lot of people in northern latitudes really start to get sick of winter. The walls start closing in on them, and for some people it's an actual depression, and for others it's just more of a melancholy. Some people aren't affected at all, but you know, there's different theories on what's causing it. The obvious thing is the lack of sunlight and or daylight hours, which for me, that doesn't bother me at all. I actually kind of prefer the short days versus those very long summer days. For other people, it's the cold. For other people, it's the grayness or the lack of color. Again, none of that bothers me. I actually kind of prefer it. Anybody that knows me knows that I love winter. For other people, it's just a matter of, you know, you get bored. You don't want to go outside, and it'll get you. It'll get you. So I think, you know, I don't have the magic remedy to the issue, but you got to find something to do. If you sit inside all winter just waiting for spring, it's going to get you down. Find something to do. I love to get outside and walk, such as I'm doing right now. Scandinavians have a saying that there is no such thing as bad weather, only bad clothing. And I agree with that to a point. Having good gear and clothing and equipment can make it possible to go outside in pretty much anything. Again, you got to find something to do, whether it's going for walks, you know, join a bowling league, take a cooking class. You know, you got to do something. But for me, I won't say that I'm immune to it. I mean, it does get to me, but it depends on the winter. It's got nothing to do with all these other things that I rattled on about. For me, especially in Lithuania, when we get these fake winters or lack of winter, where starting in October, November, it's just brown and wet during the day, a few degrees above freezing. During night, maybe a degree or two below freezing. That's what gets to me. I wouldn't say it's a depression, but that wears pretty thin on me. But again, you got to find things to do. I find things to do. You just got to push through, keep yourself busy, keep yourself occupied. If you don't like to get outside, you know, put a bird feeder in your yard and watch the birds for a few hours. But for those of you that do feel the effects of cabin fever or winter blues, hang in there. You'll get through it. That being said, you know, some people are lucky enough if financially they can go on a vacation during the winter, go somewhere warm for a week or two. That's great. Some people are even more fortunate where they can spend the entire winter somewhere warm. A lot of older folks in the US do that. They call them snowbirds. They disappear for the winter and come back in the spring. And yet other people choose to pack it in and move somewhere warm. You know, Texas, California, Florida. And growing up in Wisconsin, I knew plenty of those people who had just had enough, and they say, I'm done with winter. And honestly, I bet you more than half of them, after a couple of years, they come back to Wisconsin. You know, they say, oh, I miss family, which probably is true. But honestly, they miss the seasons. You miss winter. You can't stand spending Christmas somewhere warm. The other half, you couldn't drag them back to Wisconsin kicking and screaming. They love it. They'll never come back. So everybody's different, but again, find your thing to get you through and you'll be just fine. Hi everyone. We bottomed out at about -15, -16 this morning. Beautiful day though, just a bit cold, but I'm definitely getting some frost heave action going here. For those of you that don't know what that is, when it gets cold and the frost goes into the ground, when things freeze, they expand. That's why pipes break if they freeze. And when it comes to things like my posts here, you can see my gate is just barely latching, and my sliding gate is kind of going uphill. I've had to adjust it so it fits into this. Really nothing to be done. You know, theoretically the solution to that is when you put these posts in, you put them in deep enough or deeper than the frost is going to go. The problem here is that I've got this little storm drain here, which is an open space, and that cold air just goes very, very deep down that and causes the ground underneath my post to freeze, so it pushes that up. Again, I've had to adjust this one just because it won't close properly, but come springtime, when the frost goes out of the ground, I will have to readjust it. And here, the frost is down below my pavers here, so my door is starting to hit. That could become a problem depending on how far up it's going to push, but not a lot I can do about that one because these pavers don't go very deep into the ground, so it doesn't take much frost to push them up. And here at the far end of my yard, my walk-in gate will not latch at all. You can see it's not even close. This one's got me a little confused because I know for certain this post is driven, you know, a couple of feet, let's say, you know, 60 centimeters into the ground or deeper. So I don't know how the frost is getting underneath that one, but I can adjust the gate, of course. But if I do that, come springtime, I'm going to have to readjust it when the frost goes out and the post settles. So it is what it is. It's all part of living in a northern climate. And here on the compressor or condenser for my boiler system, just through natural reaction of cold and warm and air and water mixture, it kicks out a lot of moisture or water when it's running. So you can see I've got quite a mess here with the ice. Every once in a while I got to chip it away to make sure it doesn't get too tall and interfere with the compressor, but I wish there was something I could do about it. You can't really, you know, put a piece of PVC to redirect the water somewhere else because it'll just freeze before it gets to the end of the PVC. It's all part of the fun of winter. Not so bad.